I know they're going to get mad at me for this. They already mad whenever I posted it earlier. But let me say this. I ain't never seen a woman cross, disrespect, do anything to hurt the man that she loved without first being hurt. I've never seen that before. This coming from me, a man, I done been on both sides of the fence. I done did wrong. I done got done wrong. I have never seen in my personal or professional life. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping whenever I say this, that this really don't exist. I'm not talking about the girls who are gold diggers or sugar babies or this or that. I'm talking about when a woman was in love with a man, she was holding him down. She was in his corner. She got proof of that. She spent time with this man, months, years. She gave her body, and she didn't normally do that for just anybody. She carried his baby or babies. She took losses for him. She supported him. And then at some point, she turned on him. I ain't never seen that happen without that woman being hurt first. Now, why do I say this? Because we got a lot of dudes out here like to play victim. Man, she did. And this is the reason why I don't believe them. I don't believe them. I'm not saying that, after you do something wrong as a man, you have no rights as a human being. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't play victim in the situation you created. Don't play victim in the situation you created. Don't try to rewrite the story like she's the villain. Granted, she may have taken things way too far. Absolutely. She may have kept going long after she could have stopped. Absolutely. And you have every right as a man to remove yourself from that situation. If you just feel like, you can't handle the heat, you got to get out the kitchen. Okay, cool. I'll level with you there. But you ain't going to convince me you the victim. Not going to happen. Like that woman just woke up one day and decided she was going to start over in life. She was going to ruin everything that y'all had. Like, come on now. I've never seen it. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping, and I really want to attack that narrative because it's a lot of women out here who are carrying wounds they never deserve to carry. And yes, you have operated from survival mode. You operated way out of character. And you getting blamed for it. I'm not saying that you can't do better and you don't need to tighten up or, make sure you heal or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is don't go carrying burdens you didn't place on you. You didn't put yourself in that situation. You did not put yourself in that situation. Now, use discernment. Use discernment. And I talked about this in my new book, the follow-up to Don't Forget Your Crown. By the way, let me put this link right here. Because I already know somebody going to ask me. If you have not yet gotten my book, Don't Forget Your Crown, or if you have and you have not yet got my follow-up book, which I think is even more powerful, From Heartache to Happiness, highly advise you go get that ASAP. I'm actually going to give it away for free, probably to the next 100 people. I don't want to give it away to everybody because it is new. Comment the word crown. Comment the word crown if you want my new book, From Heartache to Happiness, for free. Comment the word crown and I'll give you access to the ebook and audiobook version of my new book, From Heartache to Happiness, because I talk about this. Boy, did I go in, because there's a whole lot of reverse psychology, manipulation, and things like that. Y'all, I'm a man. I'm not against men. That would be going against myself. So I actually understand as a man, whenever you're trying to fix things after you messed up, I totally get it. I get that. But you know what I also believe? You gotta lay in that bed once you make it. And it ain't gonna be comfortable depending on what you did. So if that woman froze up on you, it's after too many nights of her crying, trying to keep herself warm. Like this perspective is a part of the accountability that's going to help you be a better man. It's not to bash you. It's not to beat you down. It's just so you can have real accountability and therefore have real evolution into who you really could be as a man. That woman didn't plan to build walls. She constructed them after you kept tearing her down. She wasn't trying to play games with you. She learned the rules after being played too many times by you. That's the conversation nobody wants to have. That crazy ex that keyed his car suddenly changed. Count the times that she communicated before she gave up. Women don't cross men that they love for sport. They cross them for survival. If you ain't ready for that conversation, you probably not ready to hear what you did first. Tell me if I'm wrong. Now, y'all tell me down in the comments. Now, again, I want to be as balanced and fair as I can possibly be. There are many situations where, as a man, you didn't come in, you didn't create some of the things she came in with. I understand that completely. And so once you did what you did, maybe what she did back wasn't exactly proportional. That's the only bone I could really throw you. But let's not play like that's a majority of the situations. A majority of the times, that woman gave you time at the time at the time. She gave you outs. She gave you grace. She gave you forgiveness. And then you finally pushed her to a point where you couldn't pull her back. That's most of the times what happens. You pushed her so far, it wasn't no pulling her back. There wasn't no begging, wasn't no crying, wasn't no guilt tripping, none of that. Behind every single woman who quote unquote did that man dirty is a detailed history of him doing her worse. Her retaliation is typically actually it's a fraction of what she endured. Again, I've never seen women that all in love, etc. just wake up one day and they vengeful. Typically, they get pushed at a breaking point. Typically now, somebody gonna go, hey man, I don't know, man. I think this situation different. Look, I get it. I totally have seen bizarre situations. I've seen situations where a woman came in with extremely traumatic experiences she never dealt with. And in that new relationship, she was actually the problem. She was operating from survival mode, but it wasn't the man's fault. I've seen it. So y'all ain't got to say that. But let's not act like the exception negates the rule. Typically, when you see this, that woman that went through that man's phone, yes. But after he gaslit her about perfume on his shirt, she done showed up to his job, yes. After he blocked her mid-argument about their child. It's like he is always something beforehand. Don't just crucify the woman. Because we teach women as a society to forgive and forget. So when they finally remember and react, everybody gets shocked. Don't be shocked. Don't be surprised. Society expects women to be endless wells of forgiveness. Guess what? That well gonna run dry. And when it does, she's going to get labeled the villain. That first betrayal, she give him another chance. Second betrayal, oh, I'm working on myself. So she'll say, okay, cool. Third betrayal, ain't nobody perfect. That fourth betrayal, think of the relationship. Okay, but when she finally says enough is enough and she acts accordingly, now all of a sudden she the bad guy. She's unforgiving. She's bitter. No. Nobody counted how many times she forgave before she finally chose not to forget. They want her patience to be infinite, but his accountability is optional. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Yes, for those I just saw somebody ask. This is a different book. From Heartache to Happiness. From Heartache to Happiness. Where I talk about these things and it's much more in depth. I went in on this book. This is the follow-up to Don't Forget Your Crown. So if you already got a Don't Forget Your Crown, you know what you know how powerful that was. I'm also going to give this one away for free today. Comment the word crown and I'll give you access to all of them actually. Comment the word crown. I'll send you free access. Back to what I was saying. We love to try to paint women or define women by the worst version of them that was brought out by the man. We love to do that. And I'm a big fan. You know what? I was talking a couple through a situation. I'm trying to make sure I don't give nothing out. And he basically was like, I feel like, they had a little situation. They blew up. She took it too far. She said some things. Honestly, I felt like were really harsh. And he said, I feel like she brought a gun to a knife fight. That's what he said. Like, I said something I shouldn't have said to her, but then she said this and it really, really stung him. Because she had been sparing him that whole time, that whole conversation. This is what a lot of y'all don't understand. When a woman is biting her tongue, it ain't because she ain't got nothing to say. A lot of times she's sparing you. But she decided to stop sparing him. And he was like, man, she brought a gun to a knife fight. I said, well, why did you start a knife fight with this woman? Don't talk to me about the gun that she pulled out. Because in real life, if two people are interacting, one person pulls out a knife, the other person pulls out a gun. Well, you're not going to say that person pulled out a gun is wrong. You can't choose the weapon they're going to defend themselves with against what you decided you was going to try to do to them. You can't now come and police them on how far they can take it. Now, of course, we're not talking extremes. We're not talking, a woman can just go and just set the house on fire, because you lied about where you was at yesterday, or hopefully she don't do that. But again, if you poke the bear, don't tell it how hard it can bite you. Why is that a hard concept? I don't understand that. In my worst days, I understood that. Like, y'all, I've been toxic before. I done operated from a wounded place. Y'all know I don't hide nothing from y'all. I couldn't hide if I wanted to. I'm a public figure. So I don't come from perfection. I'm not talking from that. But I do have common sense. As a man, just take your L and decide you're going to be better. Decide, hey, if you're not ready to feel whatever it is you probably going to make her feel, you probably don't need to do what you're going to do that's going to make her feel that. Now, do I believe in tit for tat? Do I believe eye for an eye? No, I don't. I just believe that humans can get to a point where they've had enough. But men will test every boundary until they find the electric fence. Then act surprised when they get shocked. Pushing limits, thinking that love means limitless tolerance. But brother, it don't. Her reaction to being pushed too far is always going to get more attention than the pushing that started it. And I don't know. I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. You ignore that woman's calls, but you expect immediate responses to every one of yours. Come on now. You dismiss that woman's feelings, but you demand that she cater to every mood of yours. You want to disrespect that woman publicly, then give private apologies. You keep pushing like that, she going to push back. Is that not common sense? I mean, I thought it was, but they mad at me. I said this earlier. They got pissed off at me. She communicated with words, but she realized at some point you understand consequences only. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of those people that struggle with that myself. I struggle with talking, knowing I'm being ignored and not being taken seriously, but continuing to waste those words. So I can only imagine a woman who's all in for a man and she just doing the best to intelligently communicate, and he just using that as a pillow to prop himself up to keep stepping all over her, to keep his foot on her neck and think she gonna be cool with it. All right. You think she gonna keep talking and crying and repeating herself and pleading? Okay. That woman's actions are going to become her language when her words stop working. That's why you don't want to show somebody that their words hold no value with you. Because what do you think they're going to do when they need to get a message across to you now? They're going to reach for something else that's going to speak louder than them words. Come on. Yeah, they say I see the demons come out when I call them out every single time. That's cool, though. That's cool. I love pissing them off. Matter of fact, share this right now. If you know what I'm saying is facts, it's truth on any level. You ain't got to say it because they're going to get mad at you. They can get mad at me. I can fight. And they can't cancel me at this point. So they apparently already did. So share this right now if you know what I'm saying is facts. Let's piss some more people off with the truth. And whenever you do, comment the word share so I can show you some love. But the woman that crosses you, brother, is the woman that loved you enough to stay through. Well, she probably should have left. She probably should have left you a long time ago. So her retaliation, it may not be proportional to every little thing that you did, but I guarantee you it's proportional to how much she loved you and how she felt about what you did. The depth of her hurt is going to match the depth of her former devotion to you. That's what you're really seeing. You're not seeing just a reflection of what you did and how you feel about it. You're seeing a reflection of how it impacted her. That's the thing. You want to police that woman because, oh, I did this to you, but it wasn't that bad. You judging that bad based on how you feel about it. And of course you don't feel that bad about it because that's why you did it. But judge it based on how it impacted her. That's the better measurement. Tinsy Brown, thank you for sharing. And yes, the book is on audio. I actually have the audiobook. The audiobook version is in there. It's ebook and audiobook that I'm giving you for free. Or if you're able to, get in today, comment word crown if you want the ebook and audiobook version for free. And yes, the audiobook is in my voice. Anita, good to see you back. Thank you, love. But don't think that it's revenge when a woman has been pushed too far and then she snaps. It is revenge now if the very first thing you do bad, and I'm not talking about deal breakers, I'm just talking about just aggravating her. She snaps out. That's revenge. That's wrong. Okay. I'm not gonna get up here and say revenge is cool. Cause I think sometimes somebody can carry stuff in and then you get in the brunt of something you didn't even do. But after a prolonged attack, attacking back isn't revenge. It's self-defense. You see, revenge is whenever there's not a continued threat present. That should have already been settled. Y'all talked it out. Y'all forgave each other. Not a deal breaker. That's whenever it's revenge. If she then goes and says, I'm gonna mess up his life, right? But if that woman has been enduring over and over disrespect, you are an active threat to her mental health the longer y'all even stay connected. And even if y'all not connected, you still might be an active threat. So it's self-defense. That's why they got an active shooter at a public place. They taking that person out because they're an active threat. That's the consequence. They got to take them out. Granted, I'm not over here promoting that a woman goes to the ends of the earth to don't do nothing crazy, sisters. If you honestly, I believe the best revenge is just glowing up. I always say that. But you might not be looking to choose the best revenge. You might choose whatever one you feel like choosing right then and there. And I get that too. I really do. But if a man does all of the betrayal first, the disrespect, manipulation, neglect, emotional abuse, faking his whole personality, whatever she did last was reaction, protecting herself. It showed consequences. It wasn't revenge, even though that's going to get remembered that she quote unquote overreacted, not his irritation, not his initiation. But a woman goes through something called communication exhaustion. That's when her words stop working. And guess what? Her actions are going to start speaking. Now, if you fortunate, if you lucky as a man, her actions may start speaking withdrawal. It may speak that she just leaves you. But if you're not so lucky, it may speak something a whole lot angrier. It may start shouting at you. And guess whose fault that is? Yours. And again, sisters, I understand when you go through this, it's not fun. It's not you. You don't feel good about it afterwards for too long. And it's like it brought you out of character, right? So I highly encourage you as a woman, if you've been there before, if you relate to what I'm saying, I'm not mad at you. I'm not one of those that's going to shame you. But I also want better for you than to have to continue feeling that because it's still giving that man your energy. We just need to straighten up the narrative because you still ain't to blame if you went through so much and then reacted. But just for a second, let's get away from blame and get you to where you want to be. You need to recover your crown. Because again, the best revenge is acting like that man never even existed. If you want to get there, again, I talk about this in my book, From Heartache to Happiness. A literal step-by-step journey from heartache to happiness. If you want that book where I go in, this is a follow-up to Don't Forget Your Crown. This is specifically for those of y'all who are in the glow-up season. You want to attract better. Don't Forget Your Crown is more so restoring your crown, getting back to kind of like that baseline. But if you want to go from heartache to happiness, like up and beyond, comment the word crown. I'm going to send you the step-by-step in my book, From Heartache to Happiness. Already got great reviews on it. And I'm talking about for free, by the way. I'll send it to you for free. It'll be inside of my Self Crown Inner Circle. That's a membership, but you can cancel, no contract anytime. You keep the books forever. Moral of the story is, nobody's ready for this conversation, but I ain't never seen a woman do a man dirty. If she truly loved him at any point, I've never seen a woman do that man dirty. And she wasn't the one that was hurt first. She just the one that started it. Nobody ready for that conversation because it requires admitting that, you know, her villain origin story started with him playing hero while hurting her. But women don't cross men that they love just for entertainment. They cross them for survival. She didn't become cold randomly. She froze after his repeated winners. She didn't build walls just for fun. She built them because he kept invading her, hurting her. So before you call that woman crazy, count what drove her there. The woman who crosses the line with that man that she loves is typically the exact same woman who crossed oceans for him while he wouldn't even cross the street. Share this right now if you agree. Share this right now if you agree. Comment, share it after you do so I can show you some love. But share this right now if you agree with anything I just said. Because we need more people who are willing and bold enough to stand on and spread the truth. Only if you feel like what I said was true. But I'm your internet big bro. You know I got your back. And again, for my readers out there, my audiobook listeners, ebook readers, whatever, today is your lucky day. If you comment the word crown, because I'm going to gift you my new book, From Heartache to Happiness, for free. It's going to be inside my inner circle. Comment the word crown and I got you. That's the follow-up to Don't Forget Your Crown. So they're both in there though. Just comment the word crown and I got you. Peace.